Please turn on your CC as you watch this. As an electrical engineer, I make accurate objective measurements. So I could use an auto refractor and my objective measurements to gradually clear my Snellen back to 2020. So here goes.
The mobile phone as a to use the to measure the refraction. So again, this is more of a subjective than rather being objective. Okay, then comes the wavefront technology. We all know the quality of image which is being formed on the retina is not just based on the refractive error. So it is again has a other refractive other aberrations. So all these myopia, hyperopia are all fall into a lower order aberrations. What about higher order aberrations? So these higher order aberrations which are being formed through contact lens and other corneal conditions are being measured in this case with the help of a wavefront autorefractometer. So in the case of a wavefront, what will actually happen here is they do not just check 2 or 3 points. So they check almost uh, more than 50 points, and then they are found to be more than 25 to 50 times more accurate than the autorefractometer normally. And then they also give a accurate they also are used in measuring refraction in irregular astigmatisms and patient who had undergone uh, refractive surgeries previously. Okay, so this is how the wavefront actually works. So it is like there is multiple light rays which are being passed, and then they are being each of these points are being measured, and then the aberrations are being calculated. Okay, so there are few autorefractometers which directly generates prescription, or there sometimes we few of the clinicians or few of the technicians, what they try to do is they try to prescribe, they don't see subjective or refraction, they directly prescribe what they get in autorefractometer. So can we use that? So there are some study there is a study by Strang et al who actually investigated whether we can directly prescribe from a autorefractometer. So and then what he did is he gave a prescription of to a patient directly, which is being generated from the autorefractometers, and then he just saw how the feedbacks after 2 weeks. So what they found is like, though the visions are almost good, they are not up to the level of how optometrist prescription is. Okay, so that's how, and then he concluded that is like, though that autorefractor can be used as a assisted device, but cannot be used as a complete device for prescribing a uh, uh, spectacles. So these, so though we have autorefractometer, it is always better we do a other refractive uh, checkups and then we prescribe. Okay, so as I said before, the normal autorefractometers have a limitations with patient who has
Let me say this about the general public. The general public cannot make accurate measurements. An electrical engineer can make accurate measurements of control systems. That's his job, his profession. I spent 15 years making accurate refractive measurements objectively of my refractive state. Personally, what being valuable to me would be an auto refractor to double check things. Here, you can even use an auto refractor and prescribe a lens, but I prefer to be objective. So I could visualize a study where I'm taught to make objective measurements myself. And then the goal would be to get a refractive change from minus a half diopter to plus a half diopter by the person himself, who will make all objective measurements. Since no third party makes a measurement, my measurements are by definite objective. An autorefractor would help in a scientific study, guide each engineer as he measures the accuracy of a control system, his own eyes, whether he measures positive or negative. The autorefractor would give values and probably cylinder. I would take the cylinder value and produce a spherical equivalent. That would greatly simplify measurements and measurement accuracy, since you can have cylinder and 20/20 vision, which would be typical, since most eyes have cylinder, and when the refraction is positive, they will have 20/20. There can be objection. Rupa Wong measures her kids' eyes objectively as positive, 20/20. So I measure my eyes as positive and 20/20. The only difference is I measure objectively using test lenses and a Snellen. And I would appreciate having a autorefractor, which since I don't have, I have to do it myself. But all our measurements when my refraction is positive are not medical. If you make them or I make them, they're not medical because I have 20/20. And for that point, Rupa Wong's kids have 20/20 vision, which means they read the 20/20 line with some degree of positive refraction. So that would be my scientific proposal for engineers who previously had 20/20 and went down to minus a half diopter. That would be completely objective, under control by them, and they would do exactly what I've been doing for the past 12 years, 15 years. I think that could be done. It does not involve medicine, as long as the refractive state is positive. If the refractive state is slightly negative, it's arguable. Is it medical to get yourself back to 20/20 by your objective measurements? Only you could make that choice. But what I propose is a reasonable engineering/scientific study of the behavior of the completely normal eye. Add your own commentary, and thank you.